Going all the way up. Test. 1, 2. All right. So let's start tonight with a word of prayer. Lord, we're grateful and thankful to be here tonight. We thank you for all your many blessings. We thank you for our congressman who you have blessed to lead us in such a wonderful way. And God, we pray that you would continue to cover him, continue to cover his family, that God, as he stands up for what is right, he also gets a lot of arrows thrown his way. So God, would you continue to cover him, continue to protect him, and continue to give him the boldness to speak what is right and continue to speak truth to power. God, I pray now that you would bless this district. I pray that you would bless all that are under the sound of my voice. That God, that you would continue to just bring us all together because you are one God for one people, and we are grateful and thankful that we can look to you in all things. So God, continue to bless this district, continue to bless this state, and continue to bless the United States of America. Amen. So the congressman asked me to say a couple of words about why I am supporting him. I met him early on in his first run for Congress, and he was just a fierce advocate for education, a fierce advocate for those who are homeless, the need for housing, the need for jobs. He was about the everyday person, and he cared about the plight of everyday persons in this district. And so early on, I started supporting him. He is he's almost a member of my church. He comes, not even quite honorary yet. He comes when he wants, he does what he wants, and then he leaves. But he's always there for people in this district. And so I'm always going to support the congressman. I'm constantly praying for him. There's times I just text him, man, I'm praying for you. Because when he has to take a stand, Congressman Jamal Bowman is not taking a stand for Congressman Jamal Bowman. He's taking a stand for the people in this district. And he wants to do right for the people in this district. And so I'm so grateful to have him. And we must come together and let's re-elect Jamal Bowman to the 16th Congressional District.
My name's Tyler. I'm a member of the Sunrise Movement.
Lift the mic up a little.
We good?
Yeah. You're good.
Hi, everyone. My name's Tyler. I'm a member of Sunrise Movement, and I'm also a proud member of Jews for Jamal. I've grown up in this district. I went to school here. I was bar mitzvah here, and I'm about to vote here for the first time. We're a coastal district that was deeply affected by Superstorm Sandy. We'll never forget what that was like. It was my first experience with climate justice, and it's why I continue to organize for climate change. Hold it. Turn it up. When I was 15 years old and I saw Jamal running for the first time, I realized that I could have a representative that cares about everything that I care about and delivers for us. Yet, our opponent, George Latimer, is framing his campaign in one phrase: results, not rhetoric. So let's talk about results.
Disappointing.
During Hurricane Ida, Jamal personally checked on residents. He's funded green infrastructure from geothermal heat pumps and solar panels and public library energy efficiency in Hastings to the New Rochelle Link project. Yes. He's brought back critical funding for young people in this district, for a youth violence intervention initiative in New Rochelle, to the youth shelter program of Westchester. For a mental health program and educational support program. So let me ask you, are those results? Yes. Okay. So let's talk about rhetoric. Big ideas like Jamal's Green New Deal for public schools may have cool names, sure. But that bill also invests $1.43 trillion into our public schools and infrastructure and funds 1.3 million jobs, union jobs, every single year. Only transformative policies like that will prevent the collapse of our homes and our planet. Showing up and, yes, sometimes shouting from the rooftops matters. And when we get big wins, like the American Climate Corps, we can see that it works too. Jamal doesn't have special interests behind him. He has young people fighting for a livable future and community members organizing for justice and peace. In 2020, Sunrise made 865,000 calls for Jamal. And in 2020, this district said we had enough of the status quo. And we are not going backwards. So if you're a young person who wants to help re-elect Jamal, or knows a young person who does, please get involved, even and especially if you've never done this before. Jamal has delivered for us, so it's time that we fight for him once again, and we're ready to deliver. Are you guys ready to fight with us?
So good evening. My name is Sonja Dixon. I am a proud 1199 SEIU member and Rochelle resident 56 years. I am here to tell you why I support Jamal Bowman. Let me start out by saying that my deceased mother, Bessie Dixon, may she rest in peace, taught me when I was a very young child just how important it is to vote and to get involved in our community. She instilled in me morals and values. My mother always said, don't talk about the problem if you're not going to be a part of the solution. She told me that if you want to make change for the good, then you must stay firm on your principles and your values no matter what. And that's why I'm here tonight, to support a man who stands on principles no matter what. That man is Congress Jamal Bowman. He is a true advocate for all people. Jamal Bowman shares our values. Values like helping our seniors, improving infrastructure, and health care for everyone. As a former public school teacher, Jamal Bowman knows the importance of education and activities for our youth. He is also a strong advocate for our universal child care.
Yes.
As a mother of a 37-year-old woman and a grandmother of two beautiful 6-month twin boys, I understand how challenging it is for parents to afford child care in housing too. We can't afford the rent in these new developments.
Right.
We need affordable housing. Growing up in a public housing and rent control apartment, Jamal Bowman gets the needs for affordable housing. Besides me being a mother and a grandmother, I'm also a case actor in a recovery group. I'm on the front line every day where I see the incredible need to increase of mental health and substance abuse. Yes. Resources. We also need more resources to help prevent violence. Jamal Bowman knows this, and we can always count on him to fight for more resources. So, let's stand with the man who stand with us. Let's stand for Jamal Bowman.
Testing. Greetings and good evening, everyone. Peace and blessings. Can you hear me? Yes. My name is Nubia Earth Martin. I am the president and founder of a nonprofit organization out here in Yonkers called Birth from the Earth. And I want to speak to Jamal Bowman as the champion for maternal health. And this is an issue that is so near and dear to my heart. And I want to take us back a little bit to 2019, before Congressman Bowman. And Jamal reached out and wanted to talk about Black maternal health and the disparities that we're facing across the country, but specifically here in New York. And it touched me so much that I immediately got behind this man. And I am proud to have him representing us because he is amplifying our voices. He is making sure that we feel seen and heard. He's speaking to real issues. And when we're talking about somebody bringing forth life and having that moment in their mind of, am I going to make it out alive? And this is not an issue that we're putting at the forefront of all the things that we're doing, right? This man is. He calls to check in. He asks how we're doing. He asks what we need. And it's time for us to turn around and ask Jamal, what is it that you need of us? And it warms my heart to see so many of us out here tonight. It warms my heart to see young people speaking about voting, hearing people talk about the change that this man has had, not only like somebody else said for himself, but for all the people that this is going to influence. So I just want to thank you for inviting me. I want to thank you for being a champion for maternal health. And I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. We are going to get Mr. Jamal Bowman reelected. Yes? Thank you.
Thank you, Nubia.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hyped about Congressman Jamal Bowman. That's right. So I met Jamal when he was then Principal Jamal Bowman at Cornerstone Academy for Social Action Middle School. And immediately I was drawn to his vision and his leadership as someone who is committed to equity, to principle, and to righteousness. And so when he decided to run for Congress, I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, what? But I knew that I could stand behind him because I knew he would be the kind of congressperson that was reflective of his leadership and his brilliance leading the Cornerstone Academy for Social Action Middle School. I had no doubt whatsoever that he would continue to stand on principle. Now, as you stand here, look around at each other and look at the diversity of the individuals, the ages, the cultures, the religions, and recognize that while opponents might say that he hasn't done enough for this community, all of us here bear witness to all that he has done for us. I am a New Rochelle resident, and I was thrilled, we were in a house. I was thrilled when he did decide to run that he would be my congressman. And he has been not only my congressman, but he's been the congressman for everyone in this community. Now, sometimes the things that he chooses to say or chooses to do don't make him popular with everyone. But that's one of the things that I adore about my congressman, is that he does what is right. He does what is for the good of people and humanity. And if we can't have a congressperson like that, then I don't know what we have left. So I am thrilled to stand here in support of my congressman, my dear friend, Jamal Bowman.
Good evening. My name is Leilani Geiser-Reed, and I am the trustee of the Village of Mamaroneck, and I
First black woman. Say it, say it.
I am the first black woman. Trustee of the Village of Mamaroneck. I think it was like a few months ago, Congressman Bowman asked me, and I think maybe a month ago or something, but before the holidays, he asked me, he called me up, he said, "Are you gonna support me?" And I was like, "Why are you calling me?" and it's like, because it shouldn't be an ask. And it shouldn't be a request. It's an automatic. And it's an automatic for me because I base myself and my life and the things that I do and the things that I support on my integrity. And Congressman Bowman, he's a man of integrity.
Yes.
We are living in days. We've been living in days where we have been literally settling for status quo, settling for people to just give us the bare minimum. And bare minimum is not enough. It's not enough. And we need to support the people who are out here really doing the job, because in reality, it's hard as hell. It's hard as hell. And we're getting pushback. People are coming after us. And you need to support people like Congressman Bowman, because I couldn't do his job. On the federal level, everybody would just quit. I would quit, because I could barely not even contain or control, but I could barely work within my own community because of that real pushback. And it's a pushback because you start talking about real humanity. People and what real people need, and everybody's needs is important. Yes. And the work that we really have to do is make sure that everybody's needs are met. And Congressman Bowman does that. He does that. He doesn't do it with somebody's hands in his pocket. He does that with his heart. And when you need somebody who leads with their heart, with integrity, we're all going to mess up sometimes, and that's okay, because that's what life is. That's right. But the reality is, we need people who are going to really represent us and speak truth to power. Yeah. So every single time that I try to do my job, I think about that speak truth to power. You gotta speak the truth, regardless, in every space that you're in. And that's not this, I mean, we're here to talk about Congressman Bowman, but I also encourage you, in every space that you're in, speak truth to power. Because the less that you do, the less that you don't speak the truth, the more you're gonna allow somebody else to tell you who you are, where you need to be, and how you need to get there. I'll be there.
Hey everyone, I am Nikki Armacost. I'm the mayor of Hastings on Hudson. And I am beyond thrilled to be here. And I have to tell you, the view from up here is incredible. You look gorgeous, all of you, in your beautiful, gorgeous diversity. So it's really incredible to be here. Now, there are 1,000 reasons to vote for our congressman, but I'm on 4, okay? The first is that he delivers. In his first term in Congress, he brought back hundreds of thousands of dollars to Hastings-on-Hudson so we could install geothermal energy at Village Hall and at the library. And as a true educator, he insisted that we tell our story to other municipalities so they could learn from our experience. Woo!
Yes.
Whatever I've asked for him, he's found a way to help. Whether it's as mundane as providing a letter for one of our grants, or as significant as helping me assist Afghan refugees fleeing from the Taliban. He's been there for us every time. Second, he connects. You all know that. Our congressman is a regular presence in our community. He doesn't just show up on Memorial Day when all the other politicians come out. He comes to our farmers market. He sips drinks at our wine bars. He eats at our restaurants. He really loves sipping drinks at our wine bars. And he chats with our merchants. He was with us last week at Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And if he can't join us in person, he sends videos. And he did that for the celebration of civil rights leaders, Kenneth and Mamie Clark, who used to live in our village. He's there for us. Third, he shares our values. Congressman Bowman fights for the issues we all care about: addressing climate change, preserving a woman's right to choose, increasing affordable housing, combating gun violence, advancing prison reform, ensuring economic and social justice, and most importantly, safeguarding our democracy. Everyone has said this who's been up here, but he's not afraid to stand up for what he believes in. Do we agree on everything? And would I have voted the same way as him on each issue? Probably not. But what I know is that he's a person of conscience, and I trust him to represent me. Yeah. And fourth, as we say in England, he's a gem of a person. Once you get to know Jamal, you can't help but love him, right?
Right.
He's warm, he's funny, he's thoughtful, he's intellectually curious, he's smart. With Jamal, what you see is what you get. And yes, he is fierce about what he believes in. We need authentic, passionate representatives in Congress who connect with and inspire our youth and each one of us. Our congressman is the best, and he deserves your vote.
People! 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 The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. So my name is Neda Khader, or some of you call me Nada, that's fine. I'm the director of Westpac. Westchester People's Action Coalition. We are a 50-year-old leading social justice organization in Westchester County, organizing, agitating for progressive change. We have a very proud history. And two things I want to mention real quick that's very relevant to all of you here. If you don't know us, I have a few business cards. You need to get on our mailing list. Because I send out important announcements that are very relevant to the social justice community in Westchester County. Westpac is organizing a Westchester Social Forum in Yonkers on April 14th. You'll want to be there. It's where we gather all the different justice campaigns: climate justice, environmental justice, racial justice, economic justice, Palestine solidarity. We're going to have a professional Palestinian delegate. We're also honoring in June, we're honoring Community Voices Heard right here. And we're honoring the Yonkers Sanctuary Movement, and we're honoring Jewish Voice for Peace, Westchester County. Now I'm speaking in my private capacity as a private citizen, because nonprofit organizations never. Hear that, Channel 12? We never endorse candidates for public office. I'm here in my private capacity to say that there's much to love about our current representative in Congress, and we are going to work as hard as we can to make sure he stays in power. Congressmember Bowman is supporting the reparations bill. We cannot heal this land without reparations. And not only for those descendants of people who were taken against their free will from Africa to come and work in inhumane conditions for generations, but also for First Nations in this continent. Reparations. A committee to study the feasibility of, we don't need any more committees. We need action, and we need it now. As a Palestinian, I'm also proud. My heart has been bleeding for the past few months. Every single baby, every single mother, every single has the decency to stand up for a ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! I will say, as a Palestinian, I want every Jewish brother and sister to live in peace and security and dignity. But you do not get peace, security, and dignity by dropping bunker buster bombs on defenseless, stateless refugees in camps. You do not get safety that way. You get safety when Palestinians are free. You get safety when Palestinians have equality. You get safety when Palestinians have self-determination. We have the right of return to our homeland. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Friends here, the choice is very obvious. We got to get out there. We're going to work hard because literally our lives are on the line. So we're with you, Jamal.
y'all. I was your field director back in 2020. I'm the field director. By the way, my name is Alona. I'm the field director of Voting for Congress for this cycle. And field is how we're going to win, y'all. So I'm going to be talking to every single one of you because every single one of you is going to be hitting those streets, calling those lines. We're going to be doing everything that we can, okay? Because guess what? Back a few years ago, field is how we won. And for whom you said? Our Representative Ocasio-Cortez.
We know who you are.
I'm so incredibly thrilled and excited, and I feel privileged to be here with each and every one of you all. I feel truly, truly privileged. And I wanted to have a conversation with you all about what this moment means. I want us to situate ourselves in this moment in time in American history, because I want to explain why this race and why the re-election of Jamal Bowman to Congress is a critical inflection point for our country. It's a critical inflection point. It's not just about Yonkers or White Plains. It's not just about the Bronx or Westchester or New York. It's about the country. The country. We all know that. We all feel it in our bones. Because for so long, the story until just a few years ago is that you cannot stand up to special interests in this country and get elected to Congress. The story has been you can't stand up to big pharma and survive. You can't stand up to big oil and get elected. You can't stand up to AIPAC and get elected. Stand up to the people who are engaged in predatory housing practices and get elected. You can't stand up for the poor and get elected. That was the story until just a few years ago. Where we started to tell a different story. We started to organize in person, and we started to organize digitally, and we started to say, actually, you can fund a campaign through small dollar grassroots donations and not through billionaires and millionaires and billionaires and win. And actually, you can knock on your neighbor's door, and people will sign up if you stand up for what matters and win. You can do it. You can win. And so then we not only won our election year 14, and when I won, it almost didn't count, right? Because it was a fluke. It was dismissed. But then Jamal Bowman won. Then Bowman won. Then people like Rashida Tlaib, and people like Bush, and people like Ayanna Pressley, Summer Lee, all started to win. So we proved the first point, that you can get in the door. The question now is, can you survive? Can you stay? Because when you stand up to power, power fights back. Power fights back. That is what this race is all about. They're trying to make an example of Jamal Bowman. They're trying to say, you see what happens when you stand up for working people? You see what happens when you fight for kids and schools? You see what happens when you put people over profit? We'll show you what happens. And that's what this establishment and the moneyed interests in this country are trying to do. They're trying to say, oh, a black man got elected in Westchester County? Let's take a look at that. There's vulnerability. And you know what we're going to say? Not today. Not today. Westchester County cannot be bought. It belongs to the kids. It belongs to the teachers. It belongs to our families. It belongs to us. It belongs to Jamal Bowman. We will not be scared. We will not be intimidated. We will not be frightened out of standing up for what's right. You know, when this primary was first announced, I remember having a conversation with Jamal, and I said, "Hey man, how are you feeling?" He said, "I feel good. I feel good because I know we can do this. I know we can do this." And you know what it also means? It means you're making a difference. It means you're making a difference. They don't go after you if you're ineffective. They don't go after you if you're not making a change. They're not going after you if you're influential. They will let you sit in your corner and be happy. But when you are actually shaking the table and moving the needle, that's when they come after you. Jamal Bowman is one of the most effective junior members of Congress. I'm telling you that right now. It's not just about being right and having the moral stance on things, which he does, but he's also gaining the ear, gaining the influence in the caucus. People are paying attention to him. He's bringing home millions of dollars to Westchester County. He's winning infrastructure, growing our schools, and showing there's a different way to be successful here. And that we can actually build the world that we are fighting for. And not only is another world possible, it is already here. It is happening. And it is a matter of scale. But we have to be brave. And I want to talk about what this is going to take from us, right? He's doing the most, okay? I'm telling you that right now. Jamal is doing the most. It is now our responsibility to show up for him. That this is our time for Jamal. And it is our time to show up for him. He shows up every single day and takes risks, puts everything on the line. Now we need to ask ourselves, what are we going to put on the line for him? And it could be small or big. Are we willing to confront our discomfort with phone banking and actually calling someone on the phone? Are we willing to sign up for a canvassing shift?
Yes.
Are we willing to sign up for a canvassing shift? Knocking on our neighbor's door? Are we willing to throw a couple bucks, $5, $100, whatever you got, and encouraging others in the same, knowing that no action is too small to make a difference here.
Yes.
Every action matters. Every penny matters. Every minute on the phone matters. And the clock starts now. Today and June, what date is the primary now? 25th. I'm like 5, 6, 7. Between today and June 25th, we need to constantly be asking ourselves, how are we engaging in this? How are we contributing to this? How are we showing up to this? And one thing that we know is that there's going to be a lot of money poured in to try to buy this community.
That's right.
There's a lot of money, and we cannot discount the power of that, right? It is big. It is influential. But you know what we don't do? We don't blink. We don't blink. We're going to tackle it head on. And the way that we do that is by building deep community. Beloved community.
Right.
Beloved community. And what that means, that's a term from King. Building beloved community. And what that means is that all of the stuff that money buys, television ads, glossy mailers in your mailbox, all of that stuff, that cannot replace an authentic connection. It cannot buy human connection. And especially after coming out and after what we've dealt with the last several years with the pandemic and all this stuff, our communities are starved for human connection. People are starved for human connection. And we must be making sure that we are building that infrastructure between now and June 26th. My first re-election, I also got a primary challenge, a big one, from at the time the party establishment, which was not happy that I was there. Over $5 million was poured in to unseat me in my first race. Lots of ads, and even before that, the way that we won that, we were outspent 10-1. Millions of dollars were poured in. We had like pocket change, literally. I was a waitress. We had no money. But what we won with was the fact that once those ads come out, and unfortunately that's the way politics, that's how dirty politics works, right? They'll try to make you seem one type of way and all these kinds of things. Individual conversation is like an inoculation to negativity. That in-person conversation, and what we started to hear was, oh, that crazy ad or this thing that might make Jamal seem one way or might make me seem another way. People say, no, I already talked to them. I already talked to someone who knocked on my door and they answered all my questions. I don't believe the ad. I doubt him. I don't believe that. But that's the impact of canvassing. That's the impact of knocking on the door. That's the impact of expanding our process. We win when young people vote, when people who don't normally vote. We win when people who are disillusioned vote, because we're actually standing up for the right thing for once. We must have a campaign and something to believe in. Human beings must have something to believe in. Cynicism is not acceptable. We have no choice but to win a better world. We have no other choice. I will not accept that we're too far gone. I will never accept that the world is just devolving and will have no end. My heart cannot beat if we accept that. We have no other choice but to build a better world, to guarantee health care, to make sure that all people can get an education, to confront racial injustice, for all people are being paid a living wage, to make sure that we confront the reality of climate change, to make sure that everybody has a job in this economy, that unionization can expand. This is our charge. There is no other choice. And we have no other choice but to re-elect Jamal Bowman to Congress this year. Period. And with that, I want to introduce the man of the hour. Thank you all so much.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Peace and love, y'all. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for being here. Can we give a huge shout out to the venue, Off the Hook? Get together for us. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. This is the first time, y'all, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, aka AOC, has come to my district for an event. So if she is here right now, that tells you how high the stakes are in this particular moment. And she does love her district. But she is absolutely right. She's connected with me multiple times on the floor of the House of Representatives just to check in. How are you doing? How are you feeling? And many people have done that, mostly people in the squad. A few of y'all have done that tonight. Because you watch the news, you see the ads, and you know we're constantly being attacked. And I don't know who it was, but someone asked me, how am I doing? I said, how do I look? He said, you look good. I said, that's how I feel. Because if we weren't doing the right thing, if we weren't fighting for justice, if we weren't fighting for freedom and humanity and equality and our children, they would not be coming after us. They are coming after us because we are challenging the core of an infrastructure that is discriminatory. We are challenging the bones and the DNA of historical discrimination in our nation. We are challenging that, and we are winning. That is why you see movements here and all over the world calling for a ceasefire. That's why you see movements here and all over the world calling for human rights and justice, because people are tired of it. They are sick of it. And this has been many years in the making, y'all. And I want you, and I know you're here because you believe deeply. You believe deeply, not just in me. You believe deeply in all of us. And you believe deeply in our ability to build and create and make and manifest a better world. That is what you believe in. And I've said this a million times, and I'm going to continue to say it. In 2018, 2 years after the white supremacist fascist Donald Trump was elected president, all of a sudden a young Latina from the Bronx took on the establishment and beat their ass. And no one saw it coming. No one thought it was possible. Everybody was like, what the heck is going on? But guess what? What happens 2 years later, y'all? A black man raised by a single mom, coming from the projects and rent control apartments, middle school principal, never ran for office in my life. We run against the establishment. Mic check 1, 2. We run against the establishment, a 31-year incumbent, powerful chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee, and we win by 16 points. But we don't win. We don't win because of me alone. We win because of all of us. Organized people beat organized money every single time. If you have never knocked on a door for a campaign, once you sign up to do that and you actually do it, it builds an incredible muscle for organizing. And you feel inspired and empowered by that action. So if you've never done it, I encourage you to do it. We got to knock on these doors, y'all. And we're going to start tonight. If you've never signed up for a phone bank, every call you make builds a muscle for democracy, a muscle for humanity, the muscle that the special interests, they don't have it. The fossil fuel lobby doesn't have it. The pharmaceutical lobby doesn't have it. The military-industrial complex doesn't have it. AIPAC doesn't have it. They got money. They're going to run their ads. They've already started, Alex. But their ads are weak compared to human connection. Look at this audience, Alex. Look at you. Y'all look amazing. We have all shades of the human family in the house. From the whitest of white to the blackest of black. Where's the blackest dude in here? I think it might be you, dog. You might be the darkest. I don't know the whitest dude in here, but we got everything in between, son. Black, white, Asian, Latino. We got everybody in the house. We got Jewish, we got Muslim, we got Christian. We got everybody in the house. We got male, female, non-binary in the house. We got young, we got older in the house. Raise your hand if you're over 80 years old. Raise your hand if you are under 16 years old. That is our movement, y'all. That is what AIPAC doesn't have. They don't have that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. AIPAC doesn't have. We have the entire community and the beautiful diversity of our community. And the power of this coalition will not be stopped. It will not be stopped, no matter what. So I am so moved that you all decided to come out tonight to support me. Thank you so much. But this is just the beginning, y'all. This is just the beginning. And Alex is absolutely right. AIPAC is one of the most powerful lobbies in America. But you know what we got to say to AIPAC? Bring it on, yo. Give me a camera. What's up? AIPAC, bring it on, yo. We're not scared of none of that. I'm from the streets of New York. I grew up in the crack cocaine era. I was a middle school principal. Saw kids in the South Bronx. I live in Yonkers, New York. Shout out to the Locks and DMX and Mary J. Blige. AIPAC, we ready for all that. And if you want to support a corporate, career, corrupt, pay-to-play politician, you go ahead and do that. But this is a movement, y'all. And our movement is much more powerful than they can even imagine. So this is day one. By June 25th, we're going to win this historic election. We are not going to stop there. And I'll leave you with this. What we are up against, we're not taking it lightly. These are very powerful special interests. These are very powerful special interests. And that's okay. That's what it is. So we have to be clear on what it is. But what I'm saying right now, I work in Washington just like Alex. It's a place where we govern without compassion, without empathy, and without love for the American people. And this country was built, supposedly, to support the people, governed by the people, for the people, of the people. That's what's supposed to be. But because special interests and corrupt corporations have taken over Congress, it's a cold place. And there's no empathy and compassion in that place. And in order for us to make that place what it is supposed to be, we have to be involved in this democracy day in and day out for the rest of our lives. It is not just about this race, but I tell you, when we win this race, it's going to be a mother effing knockout blow to the whole establishment. That's what it's going to be. And let's be really, really clear, okay? Again, I said this before, but I'm going to say it differently this time. We are members of what AOC created a couple of years ago, a crew called the Squad. The Squad is all women of color, 2 Muslim women, 1 wears a hijab, and a black man. Do you think it's a coincidence that the entire establishment, special interest, AIPAC media, come after us as people of color, speaking truth to power, to take down institutions of white supremacy? Do you think that's a coincidence? We are standing on the shoulders of the Reverend Dr. MLK. We are standing on the shoulders of Fred Hampton. We are standing on the shoulders of Sojourner Truth. We are standing on the shoulders of Harriet Tubman. I'm sorry, Alex, I don't know all the Latino revolutionaries, but we're standing on their shoulders too. And that is why we are here. We got anti-war protesters in the house from the 60s. And we got the Squad in the house in 2024. A few years ago, and I'll close with this, and thank you for your patience. A young girl unfortunately lost her life in Mount Vernon to the hands of another girl. I got a chance to get to know the coaches and the teachers involved in that incident. I got to know the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau a little bit, mic check. And as a result of this horrible tragedy, I got to connect with the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau, help bring $1 million to their program so that they could target at-risk girls. And I'm proud to say that tonight, that program is in the house with us. It's called Safe Place for Our Girls. And I want all the girls to stand up right here. Please, give them a big round of applause. That is why we are here. That is why we do this work. We are fighting for our children. We are fighting for our babies because they deserve a better world. And together, we are going to build that better world. Thank you all so much. God bless you. I love you. Let's go win. Follow me. So these steps. Okay. Please give your attention to Alona. She has some important information. I would love to take a bunch of pictures, so don't go anywhere. Well, we go somewhere, but we'll work it out. Listen to Alona.
So, I know we've been here, we've been listening to some amazing speeches, you're feeling fired up, I feel the energy in the room, and so we're going to take that energy and hit the streets and call those phones. So, a lot of you have registered to volunteer tonight, so if you are canvassing with us tonight, I would love for you to come and line up over here. We're gonna train you outside, okay? All right? So if you volunteer to canvass tonight, just come over here. If you are phone banking tonight, please stay in here. Phone bank in here, canvass outside. Okay?
Keynote systemic like